Despite the title of this post, you need to understand that I'm a huge fan of life insurance. In fact, if it weren't for term life insurance, I would have never have been able to go to college and have a career as a financial advisor. What happened was my father bought a small term life policy about 2 months before he passed away unexpectedly at age 44. That life insurance served as an important safety net for me and my siblings. So like I said, I absolutely love life insurance. But that said, there's good life insurance and there is, well, let's say other life insurance that agents get rich on selling. Now we're going to talk about the latter today. First things first, who really needs life insurance? Well, there are two groups of people who need life insurance. First, if you have an estate that's large enough to be subject to estate tax when you die, life insurance can be really a great way to take care of that obligation. Or if you have illiquid assets in your estate, life insurance can provide cash so the heirs can be treated equally. Now, you have to have a very large estate to be subject to estate tax, so we're going to leave that subject to another day. Make sure to subscribe so you're notified when we publish that video on estate tax. The second group of people who need life insurance are those who have dependents, people who depend on them financially, like minor children. If you're in that camp, you might need life insurance to pick up the slack if you die prematurely, assuming you don't have enough assets to self-insure. We're going to talk about how to figure out how much life insurance you need in future videos, so make sure to subscribe. Now, let's talk about the different types of life insurance. The first is an issue called guarantee issue. It's life insurance that you can apply for without answering a bunch of pesky health questions. Now, that might sound really good to you if you've got a health condition that you think might disqualify you from getting life insurance. But there's actually far less to this policy than meets the eye. First, if you do buy such a life insurance policy and then you die within 2 years, most policies call for the company to just return the premium you paid. That means if you're very ill and don't expect to live a long time, this might be just a waste of energy. Also, the death benefits are very low and the premiums are expensive. Think about this. How do you think insurance companies insure your life without knowing anything about your health or the risk of insuring you? Well, they do it by charging you 2 or 3 times as much as you would pay for an insurance company that does review your health situation. If you absolutely need life insurance and can't get coverage elsewhere and think you might have a chance to live beyond the exclusion period, and check with your carrier how long that is, you may have no choice but to buy a guaranteed issue policy, but please check into other alternatives like senior term life insurance first. Now, the next life insurance policy that I would never buy is life insurance for children. In general, life insurance for kids is a huge waste of money because thankfully most kids are born healthy and they live a very long time. But here's the main point. Since most kids don't have any income, you don't really have any reason to insure their lives. As cold as that may sound, just because you don't buy insurance doesn't mean you don't love your kids. It means you're smart enough to put that money to better use, like saving for a college education. The next life insurance policy you probably don't want to buy is travel or accidental life. These coverages are very cheap for good reason. Most people arrive at their destination safely, and very few get into terrible accidents. But think about it. Let's say you need life insurance. What does it matter how you die? Do you need more life insurance just because you die in an accident? No. You actually might need more life insurance if you die because of an illness to pay for medical bills. When people die in accidents, they usually don't have medical bills. Rather than throw your money away on these policies, have an extra large fresh squeezed orange juice at the bar while you're at the airport, while you're waiting for your flight. You'll live a lot longer. The last kind of life insurance I recommend you stay away from is whole life or universal life. I'll create a video in the future that discusses these kinds of life insurance policies in detail. But for now, just understand that whole life and universal life are very expensive, meaning they cost lots more dollars in premium for every dollar of life insurance you get. Now, there are 2 reasons for this. First, life insurance agents get a very big commission for selling that kind of insurance. And second, because part of your premium goes into an investment, the premiums are higher. Well, you shouldn't care about making your life insurance agent rich, and there are far better ways to invest for your future than using life insurance. And again, we'll have a video that shows you this in the future, so again, please subscribe. In 29 years as a financial planner, I've yet to see a whole life or universal life policy pay off for any client. Often people have little to show for such policies other than the money they paid in. The profits that insurance companies earn on whole life and universal life are the reasons why those companies can afford to buy big buildings and buy Super Bowl ads. They cost a lot of money, and that's where they get the money. The only time these policies make sense is if you have an estate tax issue, as I said earlier. Now, life insurance, remember, is a protection tool, not an investment. So what is the best way to protect your family? For most people, it's term insurance. This is insurance you buy for a specific term like 10, 20, or 30 years. During that term, the premium stays the same. The idea is after that term is over, fewer people depend on them financially, and hopefully you've saved and invested enough outside of the insurance to take care of your family if you die. It's far cheaper than whole life or universal life. And it doesn't evaporate after you go on a trip, and you're instantly covered in a very meaningful way. Term life does have a term, so the insurance coverage will end. That works for many people, but not for those few who need permanent insurance for estate reasons. Life insurance is a very important tool. When you use it for its intended purpose, it's great. That means in most cases you should look to term life to cover your family protection needs, but make sure to speak with your own financial advisor before making an investment or insurance decision. But my advice is to ignore the slick sales gimmicks of guaranteed life, or life on children, or accidental life, or whole life and universal life. That's my advice. So let me ask you, what kind of life insurance do you have and why? Please leave a comment. I look forward to reading them.